What did James Cameron and Michael Jackson have in common? They both wanted to make a Spider-Man movie.
Welcome to Time Sweeps.
Oh!
And we're back. Welcome.
That's going to be such a close cut, by the way.
It's going to be great. Anyway, so yeah, today we're talking about movies that never happened, TV shows that never happened, video games that never happened, whatever. We'll throw it all in. The main focus is some movies that never happened. And this is like a field where I don't really know much about. Like, I know the Batgirl movie, right? Batwoman movie.
Well, yeah.
Batgirl. It's technically made.
It's done.
It's never going to see the light of day.
98% of the VFX are done. What, are they?
Man of Steel 2.
I don't know if that part's true.
Man of Steel 2, I mean, yeah.
Were they...
Ben Affleck's the Batman.
Yeah. Were those actors that they leaked earlier this week, were those ever confirmed, or last week?
For which?
For casting for the new Superman and new Lois Lane.
Oh, they're true.
Oh, yeah,
They're
no,
real.
those ones are real.
Okay.
David Cornsweat and
Yeah.
Miss
Sweat?
Maisel.
Mm-hmm.
Corn
Sweat. I got the corn sweats.
It's like
the
meat
meat
sweats.
It's corn.
I got the
we learned
corns. I got
from-
the cornbread sweats.
We learned.
Betsy, I ate too much corn. I got the corn sweats.
We learned from an episode of Teen Titans Go that vegetable sweat is good and is sweet, like corn syrup. I'm not lying. This is a whole plot.
That is.
There was they ate meat and they gave who did they give crap for being a vegetarian?
It was Beast Boy.
Yeah.
Because, animals.
And they were like, oh, meat, and then they get the meat sweats, and then they can't do anything. And then they're like, vegetables are cool, guys. Vegetables are trash, okay? The only ones worth a damn are carrots. Am I a
Says the man
child?
who eats
Yes.
I was
salads
gonna say,
every
you know
time we
what
go
makes a carrot
places.
better?
What?
SPG on a panini press.
All right. Anyway, so this topic came to me a few days ago whenever I saw a YouTube video. I can't remember who made it, but it was basically detailing the plot of Justice League Mortal, the Justice League movie that was gonna happen around the time like Superman Returns was a thing, and I think it was like the development was happening congruently with The Dark Knight, and Anton Yelchin was gonna be Wally West. I can't remember who else everyone else was. I know like the dude who played Hiccup played Maxwell Lord, I think.
Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah,
Oh, what's that guy's name? He's in The Sorcerer's Apprentice as well.
I can't remember.
And he's in This Is the End.
Yeah,
Josh?
I don't remember
Is
his
it
name.
Josh?
I know Armie Hammer was gonna be Batman too, which, I mean, yeah.
So what happened? Why did it never go?
The writer's strike back in the day. There was a.
There's one of those right now happening.
I know there, but like there was a writer's strike back in the day that caused it to be in limbo. I think The Dark Knight was already written, so it was fine. But they were just about to start principal photography in Australia, and they couldn't do it, which is sad because the plot and like the final script that they had was super solid.
Holy crap. George Miller was going to direct this?
Yeah, George Miller.
That's messed up.
Why?
He's the man who made Mad Max and stuff.
I know.
That's just something I didn't expect him to
George
do.
I mean, he also made Happy Feet.
Well, yeah, but I think that
American classic.
Happy Feet and Justice League and Mad Max seem in very three different realms of the world.
Range, my dude.
Still,
I mean,
a lot of directors have, like, a type.
Mark Webb was a romance director, and if Avi Arad hadn't stepped in, he would have made a damn good Spider-Man movie.
I still stand by my point of not expecting George to be doing Justice League.
Yeah. Yeah, Anton Yelchin was gonna be Wally West. I can't remember who Barry Allen was, but like there were two different, like, and this, they weren't gonna do any origin stories either, which was something pretty different from around
At least,
that time.
Yeah, at least at that time. I'm trying to find a list of like consistently who was going to be in this movie. But yeah, took control of Brother Eye, Maxwell Lord, and Talia al Ghul.
Yeah. And then, like, in the end, the Flash sacrifices himself, leaving Wally West to take up the mantle.
Hold on, I'm still, like, try to keep talking. I'm trying to find, like, a consistent cast list for every single actor.
Is this not the consistent cast?
Right, but that doesn't tell me who they are.
Yeah, it does.
Not on all of them.
Well, I assume that's Wonder Woman because that's who matches up with the picture I saw.
Yeah, but
Megan Gale.
yeah, all the cast and like the director were like chilling in Australia and like doing suit tests and everything, and everything was like Warner Brothers loved it. Like they loved the project so much. It was like the fact that it got canceled was just really, really sad.
I don't even remember any promos for that. Though.
Well,
Or
it
were
was
we
still
not
pretty
young?
early
we
on.
were kids still.
Yeah.
And I guess promos weren't really the same as they are now.
Yeah.
Like, we had to wait to see stuff at Super Bowl halftime shows.
Adam Brody as Barry Allen.
Adam.
Teresa Palmer.
So they did
Talia
two
al Ghul,
Flashes?
Hugh Case.
Yeah,
as-
so there was
Or was Wally
Barry-
West the Kid Flash?
Wally West is Kid Flash.
Okay.
But after Barry Allen sacrifices himself, he takes there's it has hardcore story beats. It's basically Justice League Doom, but with the Brother Eye thing. Like Maxwell Lord takes over Brother Eye and stuff like that. So Martian Manhunter is on fire for like 45 minutes. They blind Jon Stewart. Yeah, Jon Stewart was supposed to be in this, not Hal
Right.
Jordan, which
Common was supposed to be Jon Stewart.
Well, Jon Stewart was like back then, especially was the Green Lantern.
Right, yeah.
For almost like comics, he was in the Justice League cartoon. Like he was everywhere. Like Hal Jordan was kind of took a back seat.
I mean, after
Costume
the
design
Parallax
was going to
arc.
be entirely Weta Workshop.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Casting for the production began in October of 2007. Director George Miller flew to Los Angeles, where he met with several young actors. List included Adam Brody, Joseph Cross, DJ Cortana, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I don't even know how to pronounce that dude's name. Teresa Palmer, Max. Still don't know how to pronounce that name. A whole bunch of just random names until they finally got their basic casting.
Apparently, Armie Hammer made a good Batman.
What has he been in?
Lone Ranger.
That's the biggest one that I can think of.
He also got canceled a few years ago for being a cannibal fetishist.
A cannibal?
Don't.
It's
Allegedly.
yeah.
Allegedly.
Weird.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I was gonna say it was in January of 2008. Warner Brothers announced the film was on indefinite hold, allowing options lapse for the cast. The studio felt the script needed perfecting, which was impossible because of the 2007-2008 Writers Guild of America strike. In February of 2008, it was announced that the production would go to Canada, despite George Miller's wishes to keep production at Fox Studios Australia. The filmmakers are still adamant for a mid-2009 theatrical release date, and hope to have filming start by mid-July 2008. In 2010, an interview with AintItCool.com, Armie Hammer discussed how he and his fellow cast members went to getting into character for the film. We had a brain surgeon, a psychiatrist, Joseph Campbell expert, and all of these people in every single table meeting, and we had for a month and a half, and then all of the actors were also training as characters. So the Flash, Adam Brody, was training with Flash with rubber bands, so he'd be fast and twitchy. Whole bunch of stuff, swimming. Crap. Words. Yeah, they got all trained up. Costumes were
They
preliminary.
Yeah.
Weird. I mean, that just shows you, like,
But the
like how
reason they
things
canceled
can
it, I
die.
think, was because of how successful The Dark Knight was, and
That
they wanted to
sounds-
do all the character-driven, like single character-driven stories.
Yeah, it says that this was all happening before The Dark Knight came out. This was going to be the first movie where Batman would be able to turn his head in the cowl. We had the first Batsuit that let the head turn.
Damn. Dude, imagine how different where Warner Brothers would be now if this was their movie instead of The Dark Knight. Like what?
Dude,
Like cuz they
were
like you
going to do
said,
the Avengers first.
like Dark Knight they kind of started focusing on single hero stories. Like what if they
Yeah.
started with Justice League and they were like, "Okay, let's build from here."
yeah, I know.
Like that but we might have never gotten
That's-
Christian Bale as Batman, but like
well, no, like it was separately developed because Batman Begins had already come out at this point.
Reading into this, though, it sounds like there was a chance that it
2008,
could have been crap.
It could
Yeah.
have been.
Because they were like, this one was about a guy who is severely psychologically almost deranged. Like, Batman is. But normally I've seen when people phrase it that way, it normally goes downhill.
Dang. But it could have been good. Who knows?
A fight between Wonder Woman and Superman as well as the film's climax. I'm reading a lot. Like, this is just a lot of silence on the podcast. That's going to bother me. But,
Yeah.
like, the death count was going to be extremely high.
Wow.
That is an actual... Maxwell Lord has this fast food chain. Imagine that like it would be a McDonald's, but instead of all the food he has preparing for people, he's putting nanobots. So he was just going to start murdering people with nanobots inside
Yeah,
of
like
people's bodies.
Yeah. Yeah,
Weird. That's crazy.
like it would have been a very metal story.
And a completely different Warner Brothers that we know now, I'm sure.
Warner wouldn't be hurting for money.
No,
I
but no,
imagine,
I'm saying
as
like their
much.
DC like part of them.
Oh yeah.
Like you completely different like live action DC universe.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then so that's weird. I wonder why I mean we know why, but like I wonder what the calls were. Hey, we're not doing this. And it's like, hey, I've been working for like 6 months to get or longer to get into shape to be Batman or Superman.
The costume tests are pretty okay. I was going to say Martian Manhunter looks a little weird.
Yeah.
Green
Wasn't he,
Lantern's
like-
kind of funny.
I saw something about the actor. He was like an older guy. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say Flash looks pretty good. Superman looks pretty straightforward. They're going to eliminate the shorts. His belt is like a
Revolutionary.
light blue and it kind of looks dumb. Batman looks very weird to me.
What picture are you looking at?
I looked up the movie and then there was also costume tests. The Batman suit like has the extremely long ear. It's very an Alex Ross
Yeah.
style Batman, but the suit is all black.
Yeah.
It looks almost like it has a collar too.
Even Aquaman's in the classic orange and green.
And he still has the
Green Lantern.
Oh wait, no. That's his I think that's like he only has like a shoulder pauldron
Yeah.
thing. He has a hook hand.
Oh, he does have a hook hand.
Yeah, he was going to have the big hook hand thing.
Nice.
And then Green Lantern just looks like a guy in a spandex suit.
Yeah. He
But
kinda
Green Lantern
looks
usually
weird.
gets shit on anyway.
Right.
But that's a white guy.
It was a costume test. They just needed someone of similar build.
Oh.
Wonder Woman, instead of having like a bathing suit or a skirt, just has a loincloth in the front. Superman's suit looks very similar to me, like a mix of Henry Cavill and Nicolas Cage's test suit.
Yeah.
It looks like those got mixed together. The cape
then
is
they
very
added-
flowy.
Added the blue belt. I see what you're talking about.
The belt looks a little weird to me. But I like the way that this area right here plays out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
it looks very like the animated series.
Yeah.
Flash, I'm not over the Flash outfit. To me, that one looks about the best.
That out of all these, yeah, I think
Flash
Aquaman
was
looks
kinda
pretty
like
solid
the
though too.
central
Though
character
I think
of
he
the
does look
of the movie. Apparently,
Aquaman looks pretty solid.
He was like the heart of the movie.
Well, if they
When
were
is the
planning
Flash
on
not though?
killing
The
him,
Justice League story most of the time though, like because he literally holds the universe in in his shoes, like
yeah, you can tell that this is the image that they based it off of, essentially.
yeah.
This Alex Ross run. Huh. Crazy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it sounds like it got a lot further than anything else that I've.
Yeah, it was so close.
Looked
Got
into
further
it.
than
James Cameron's Spider-Man
Or
and
got
then
so
Batman
far-
Year
Yeah,
One.
it got so
Tim
close
Burton
to principal
Superman, too.
photography.
Well, that one
the
got
fact
pretty
that
far.
it didn't even shoot was sad.
They had Nicolas Cage actually in the costume.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it sounds like they had these guys in the costume ready to start filming.
It sounds like they didn't have them in the costumes yet. Like they had all the costumes ready to go, and then it fizzled out.
I wonder how they were going to do Martian Manhunter, if they were going to be like a guy in a suit or like...
I don't know.
Because this was kind of like... He kind of, right here, to me, he kind of looks like the Thing suit, but green, from Fantastic Four.
Right.
That
He
bulky,
looks.
that bulky torso.
It looks way too large. I think that's what this movie would have been ended up known as, is like the equivalent of like the first Fantastic Four movie.
We would have loved it.
Right.
yeah,
we would have been the target audience.
Yeah. Because y'all know how I
We
feel
had
about those
Justice
Fantastic
League on
Four
cartoon, or the Justice League on cartoon, Justice
On
League on TV.
cartoon.
That was on TV.
Mhm.
That was going on at that time. We had all this other stuff. Imagine if the Justice League came out. Someone who's already bigger than the Fantastic Four.
Right.
You already know who Batman is. You already know who Superman is. It would have been huge, regardless of how good it would have been.
Yeah.
People would have been over the moon for it at that time because there was never anything like it before.
Yeah.
The closest was a Justice League TV thing from like the late 70s, early 80s. It had a really funny looking Hawkman.
I thought that was from the
Hawkman's always
90s.
funny looking.
I thought that was earlier.
No, that was after John Wesley Shipp's Flash run.
I thought it was before John Wesley Shipp.
No. Unless
Well,
I'm...
Keep talking about things while I look it up.
Well,
I know,
so this sounds like we're a good moving on point to a different thing, and let's just stay on the DC side and talk about Tim Burton's Superman movie that he wanted, that they were almost done with, like not filming wise, but almost getting into the production of that movie.
yeah.
Like they were, like I think all of us have seen that video of him with the suits.
Yeah, like the suits that they were using and
Yeah.
testing and fitting.
Nicolas Cage's Superman is one of the weirdest casting decisions ever. But then again, this is the
Well,
same man who made Michael Keaton Batman. So, like,
Right.
it makes sense.
Well, and see, like Wyatt said it perfectly once. Like he was like still deciding what kind of actor he wanted to be, and so if that movie did happen, he might have been a completely different actor than we know him to be now.
yeah.
Right. He could have. He chooses to do it as he does. He calls it vaudevillian. He thinks that he needs to be a bigger character. He needs to heighten everything.
Gotcha.
It's very old-timey. It makes sense when he explains it, but it also sounds like he's just a little, touch out there as well. So it
Mhm.
that combines together, and you get a dude that names their son Kal-El.
Right.
But he was already a huge comic book nerd.
Yeah.
So I think that that movie could have entirely changed the projection of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage could have been an entirely different human being.
I've still not watched that the Massive Talent movie
Oh, the
dealing with massive
Crippling weight
talent.
of
the
mass
unbear-
talent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there any references to that in that? Because the guy had Pedro Pascal's character had like the homage to his life.
Oh yeah, no, he has everything. He has
Like-
an axe from that crappy what is it?
I don't know, but like
That movie Mandy. It's trippy and it's not good.
weird.
Oh,
So I wonder if
Connor, this is different than the one I was thinking
What?
of. This is not the same thing. There was one in '97. I didn't know this existed.
Really?
This is not the one I
Connor-
was talking about.
Connor out nerded Wyatt?
I wouldn't say out nerded, but certainly knew this existed. Guy Gardner. This is disgusting.
let me
This is
see.
a proud
What does
day.
it look like?
This is a
Look,
proud day in Connor's
Here, let me
life.
show you Martian Manhunter
There's a-
because
and
he's
there's
the
a-
one that's.
And Wyatt, there's a full pilot.
Oh.
Oh
He
no,
looks
I
like
believe that.
He looks like the dude from Orville, but green.
Yes.
Yeah. He's even chubby. He's chubby.
Yeah, he's got
a gut.
Martian Manhunter's got a belly.
Dude, that's like putting me in green makeup and say, go be Martian Manhunter. Well, like now. I'm like, no, dude, I need like 8 months.
This isn't even the one I was looking for. What the?
Wild.
I'm looking up live action Hawkman old. That might get what I'm looking for. Because I remember a Solomon Grundy.
And up until this year, the whole Nick Cage as Superman was forgotten about, and pretty much, and like, I mean, it was
Then-
always in people's minds.
And then
I'm
the
sure.
Flash happened.
But there was a cameo. He was in. We talked about it in the Flash movie review, but there was a cameo with him, and it looked pretty good. Like it looked pretty cool. Like the spider. Stop messing with that.
Sorry.
The spider he was the spider he was fighting, the robot spider crab thing.
Yeah.
Like it looked cool, and because that was in the storyboards, that fight, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it kind of I would like to see what it would have done or been like or looked like rather back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
Because what year was that?
90, because it was like right before
It was before the falling out.
It was before Schumacher.
Legends of the Superheroes is what I was looking for.
Okay.
It has Black Canary, Shazam, Hawkman. Yeah.
What does Hawkman look like?
Like a dude in a paper mask.
Oh my, that's a
official.
That's a Spirit Halloween costume.
Yeah.
That's official.
Yes. Yes, it was.
That looks like the Spider-Man costume off of those toothpaste commercials, or whatever. Or like it was like a toothpaste commercial. What was it? Was it toothpaste?
What?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need you to be more specific.
It was like there was
Legends
like
of the Superhero. 1979 is painful to watch. That's the name of this headline, and it's you're not kidding.
not toothpaste commercial. It was like
Spider-Man
Toothpaste.
commercial.
Can you?
19.
Spider-Man commercial. Old. Which one? That one?
Green Lantern, Flash.
Because that's the
Got milk.
that's the early Avengers. That's the Got Milk one.
Then there's
Captain Marvel.
Look at that one. Paused an old toy commercial at just the right moment.
wait, was it?
God, you remember this Amazing Spider-Man?
Oh yeah.
The little guy in the mirror.
Legend.
Or was it like a child endangerment thing?
Was it a toothbrush commercial?
Child in danger.
So there was like I know there was like there was a Spider-Man thing like, hey, don't talk to strangers, or like a. It was like something. It was something I can't remember. It was just like
This was made by Hanna-Barbera.
what?
This Legends of the Superheroes thing.
Stranger Danger. Danger. Connor, I think you're dreaming.
No,
Connor's dreaming.
motherfucker.
He had his one moment.
I can't.
This podcast.
I know it exists in my head. Not in my head, but in real life, and I know that it's somewhere.
It just doesn't exist. So yeah, but why did they ever talk about why Superman had long, glorious locks?
Oh, okay. So, this movie... Let me make sure that Superman Lives was supposed to be the name of it. And I can't recall what year it was supposed to come out, but I thought it was after, the death of Superman.
Yeah.
Because that's when they unfurled Superman again, and he had a mullet.
Oh.
That was the big thing. Superman had a mullet. That was also the series, and they were like, Superman is hairy. Like, hairy. And Henry Cavill latched onto that for some reason. But
because he's hairy.
Yes.
He's a hairy man. So he was
He's
like,
I don't want to shave my body.
I don't.
Superman's hairy. This is canon. And then he tried to have Superman have a long hair for when he comes back in Justice League, and nobody would let him do it. And I was like, well, at least he tried. It would have been dumb, but at least he tried. But yeah, it was a whole thing with that. And I'm trying to figure out what year this was supposed to come out, because I think that has a lot to do with it.
Wasn't there a Superman cartoon, or was it the Justice League cartoon, where he fights himself and no one knows which one's which because one's in the black suit and one's in the blue and red suit and one has long hair? Is that like right after that comic came out?
That's about the reign of Superman.
Okay.
There's the clones and the replacements and all that.
Yeah.
Cyborg Superman.
Right.
And then actual Kal-El Superman has that black suit because he was in the solar chamber to help him.
Yep.
Survive.
Was that the Superman cartoon or was that a Justice League?
There was a movie.
There was a movie.
Oh, okay.
And then they remade that movie, animated, not that long ago.
Because I don't know why it's so vivid in my memory. I don't know if I watched it somewhere like other than home, which is why I don't know. But I just remember him talking to Lois, and she'd be like, "Are you him?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm him." Like,
I remember Cartoon Network showing it in 2008 on TV because I remember sitting in the hospital room when my brother was, born.
Born.
And I'm like sitting there as that's going on.
Yeah.
I'm watching Superman.
Get murked.
So like down the hall, there's a baby being born. And I'm just like, well,
I'm 7. I don't
Superman's
care.
dead now.
Superman time.
Yeah.
Superman Lives. It was canceled.
Tom Clanceled.
Superman film canceled in 1998. The Death of Superman Lives. What happened? A 2015 documentary. Superman Doomsday and Beyond, a 1993 novel. Also released as Superman Lives.
And when was it supposed to come out? 98?
It sounds like, yeah, this was supposed to be released around 1998.
Damn.
I'll look up more specifically when was Tim Burton's Superman supposed to come out. But that would have been after, Doomsday.
Yeah.
So that would have made it a big difference in like coming back in media because it was everywhere that Superman died.
Yeah.
It was a big deal. But like when he came back, it wasn't talked about on the news.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody that knew anything about comics was like, he's going to come back. You're going to sell some variants.
Superman dies.
Because it was everywhere. You can pick up original copies in the black sealed bag still for only like $15.
Because it was that.
It was everywhere.
Yeah.
They sold so many of them. And there was people that didn't buy comics that bought that. And they were like, I can turn around and resell this. So they ended up with stacks of them. So now you can go to antique stores in certain places and find stacks of them because nobody wants them.
Wild.
That turned 30.
I don't know why that's I mean, like, I get why he's supposed to be invincible and unkillable, right? But why is that the only story people do nowadays? Is Superman dying? Like,
because
Superman's died like 100 million times now. Like, who cares that Superman dies? He's gonna come back. We are like,
If you're gonna make Superman come back, at least if you're gonna make Superman die, at least do it like All-Star Superman.
Right.
Like,
that's the problem.
Come on.
That's why we keep getting the same Batman
Or
stories.
like whatever
the same
happened to the
Superman
Man of
stories.
Tomorrow or whatever. Like,
If you want to do a Superman send-off, try whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow. He
Or
gets to have his happy
Superman
ending and ride off
All-Star.
into the sunset.
right? Like,
a man's so deserving for that. Like, a guy's so powerful he could kill everyone on Earth with by sneezing, but he doesn't. So just let him be happy with Lois and his children.
And that was a big thing that happened at the end of whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
His son has powers.
Yeah.
Because there was a piece of coal in the fireplace. The kid grabs it and crushes it into a diamond. And that was the last panel. And it's like, all right, Alan Moore, calm down.
Dang. Because
before Alan Moore became a cynic.
Oh, no, he was definitely still a cynic. It was just different.
he wasn't the cynic.
Yeah. He wasn't a cynic to the world itself, but he had a cynical view.
Yeah.
Wild.
Apparently, like the Justice League episode, what was it? It's with like Morlun and like the plant thing.
Oh, the black
Yeah.
what? More
What
fun.
what do you give
Lotus.
to the man who has everything, or the man who has everything?
Mongol.
Mongrel. Yeah.
Mongol.
Mongol.
But yeah, he attaches it to Superman's chest, and it was supposed to be
But that
Kal-El's birthday.
that episode of Justice League, Alan Moore doesn't usually like motion picture or anything, like any form of motion picture, adapting things like that. That is one of the few things that he actually got a stamp of approval.
Well, it's one of the few things that actually was
Faithful.
yeah, 1-to-1 made it work, and they didn't just try to subvert it with a different message.
Yeah.
I'm going to change topics here for a second.
Is it going to be Batman Year One with Joaquin Phoenix?
No, it's going to be about Indiana Jones. Because it just came into my mind, and I haven't talked to you since last week, and I saw this video on TikTok. And this guy had an idea, or did you send it in the chat?
You sent it to us.
Yes. I want to talk about it, because that could be movies that we haven't seen before. Or is it all the Indiana Jones? And what has Indiana Jones done? Other than the
Young
movies you've
Indiana
seen?
Jones.
So, I don't know if you watched the video, but the video I sent was this guy. He's like, I have an idea for Indiana Jones, and this can make Disney a bunch of money or whatever. You know, it was like, so Indiana Jones is leaving. He's retiring from being a professor. And there's a new guy, and he was like, it could be like a new younger action star. Like he was like, I was imagining like Bradley Cooper.
No, he was saying that like a Bradley Cooper type for the flashback.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the new guy's like, hey man, I'm a big fan. I've heard a bunch of your stories. Are any of them true? And like, have you like blah 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 blah? And he's like, here kid, I have a story that I have never told anyone. And then that's the movie, is the story.
Mm-hmm.
And so then when he's taking this, at the end of the movie, when he's taking this guy, he's like, here, I'll show you the office, but my son's about to pick me up. He goes back, and there's like a bookcase full of like journals of old adventures he went on. And then the movie ends with his son picking him up, and it's not
Mutt. Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, it's what's his name?
I don't remember his
Data.
actual name.
Short Round.
Yeah, it was him picking him up.
I don't remember the actor's name.
Well, it did.
Something Quan?
I got spoiled a little bit on Indiana Jones a little bit, like the fate of Mutt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's ambiguous and kind of dumb. Well, I shouldn't say ambiguous. It's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. But it goes against his entire character.
Which one's character? Mutt?
The rebel.
The one who would want to have made his dad angry?
Oh, fair.
I was gonna say it made enough sense. Quan.
Yeah.
We'll say Quan. I don't want to take the chance and offend him because I do like him enough, and I know he'd never see this, but that's not the point.
Yeah, he's still wholesome. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that on the podcast because I thought that was really cool.
Mr. President, Who the hell is that?
Who the hell is this guy?
Just the look of shock in Biden's face is so good.
Dude, he was so happy, and then he's like, who the hell is this guy?
Biden was not expecting someone so energetic.
He's like, booby trap.
We're going to be introducing you to this 56-year-old man. He's really happy to meet you. He's like, oh, 56. I don't know if that's how old he is. I know he's an older guy.
I got a booby trap. No.
Like, I know he's an older guy, but...
My eyes hurt.
But yeah, I wanted to talk about Indiana Jones. You want to talk about Batman?
Yeah, there was supposed to be a Joaquin Phoenix movie. I don't remember who the director was supposed to be, but he was supposed to be Batman.
And not Joker.
Right.
Joaquin Phoenix was supposed to be Batman.
Correct. He was also supposed to be Doctor Strange at one point, and that never worked
dude.
out.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That was the first choice
I'm
for
not Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm Mark
Doctor
Wahlberg.
Strange was Joaquin Phoenix.
No.
Why?
Because no, I don't see it. I don't like that.
I'd say he's perfect.
I mean, he'd be good. I just like, I don't know. After he played Joker, I know the man has range, but I don't know. I just don't see that in my head. I never thought about that.
It'd definitely be like interesting. It would be interesting to see.
It would be interesting, yeah.
Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. Keep talking. I'm about to look up the number to see if it's actually something or just nothing.
Okay.
So I don't know anything about this Joaquin Phoenix Batman movie. When was it supposed to come out?
2000s, contemporary around the time of like Batman Begins. That's like that period of time.
Well, I know
I
know he did screen tests for Batman Begins at one point.
Right. This was essentially what that was going to be.
He was gonna be. He was a front runner for the Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Dang.
Along with Cillian Murphy, I think.
Which is kind of weird that he could have been Batman.
There's nothing on this movie because if you just look up Joaquin Phoenix Batman movie, it just
Batman
is all the
Year
Joker.
One.
It's all the Joker shit. Which the Joker's gonna be coming out soon.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time that Joaquin Phoenix has ever done a sequel.
Really?
Because that was usually what he used to base
It
stuff
must be
off
good,
of.
then.
He didn't want to do sequels, which is why his character died in Gladiator and all sorts of stuff like that.
Right.
He didn't want to do sequels. That's why he turned down
Speaking
Doctor
of
Strange.
sequels, why are they doing a Gladiator sequel?
Because money.
No.
Is this it? Or is that the comic? That's the comic.
Gladiator's too good for that.
Is it?
Not really.
It's very unlikely that Joaquin Phoenix will appear in the sequel to the Batman. Oh, that's Nothing's coming up.
It was
for
a
me.
phone call from a university that I'm not even going to.
Oh, fun.
So they left a voicemail. It's like,
As Batman's story with the year one elements, while Batman Begins was the year one story that added features. The film's end scene was Gordon revealing the Joker's arrival in Gotham's mirrors. Nothing's coming up for me on this movie. I think you made it up.
Batman Year
Walking
One.
for Batman Year One movie. How do you say that? Darren Aronofsky wanted Joaquin Phoenix to be a Batman Year One movie. Batman Year One, if Darren Aronofsky film had happened back when he was breaking into Hollywood, he began developing his own take on the most popular comic character of all time.
Is he? Is Batman the most popular?
I don't think so. I think it's Superman.
He's up there.
I think it's Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. I think are the three most iconic characters, like statistically.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Superman was more widely recognized for the longest time, and Spider-Man is one of the most popular of all time in general.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I thought Spider-Man was above Batman, but Batman has a more recognizable symbol.
Like cow, yeah.
I was thinking like the logo is what they based that off of.
Oh, I was thinking like, dude,
Because
like
they placed it up there with like the Mickey Mouse silhouette ears, the crucifix, and then like McDonald's.
the two twin arches. His cowl is just two Wolverines kissing.
Yeah, Year One, Batman Aronofsky.
Was breaking into Hollywood, had been developing his most powerful character. Batman: The Dark Knight had already been through several adaptations at this point, with Michael Keaton, George Clooney, Val Kilmer already donning the cowl. However, since Joel Schumacher take left many fans unsatisfied, the character was primed for a reboot once again. So this was just like, yeah, this was about to happen.
And if I'm not mistaken, this one was going to be a bit more. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think this was going to lean more into the concept of being a bit more
Edgy,
yeah.
instead of funny, because like Batman was still like a funny guy.
They were wanting, if I remember correctly, I remember watching a video about this a while ago, so I could be completely off. I remember the story about being this one was supposed to be like it was rated R, and it was going to be a bit different. You were going to see him make gadgets and use them. There was going to be like him doing chemistry stuff to see him make the smoke bombs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be very Year One, but it was almost supposed to be like slightly steampunk-esque, but not like fully. Nothing like the Doom that came to Gotham or like Gaslight.
Yeah.
More heavily influenced on that out-of-time concept, and he looks futuristic for something like the 40s. So it was going to be a little out there, even though the original series, Year One, takes place in like, the 80s.
Right.
Arguably the 80s. If it's supposed to be like the same Batman as, The Dark Knight Returns, it would have been the 60s, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I wonder. That's just what makes you wonder what would have been if that's what all these movies do. It's like, what would have been if that came out? Because that would have came out the exact same time that Christian Bale was doing Batman stuff.
Right.
So there would have been
If
two
that
Batmans.
didn't continue, I think Christian Bale wouldn't have existed. Is what I'm trying to. Is what I think would have happened.
If that continued.
Yeah, because I think it was this one being like kicked out that allowed for Christopher Nolan to step in.
Mm-hmm.
That allowed for that movie Christian Bale to happen.
Weird.
And even then, Joaquin Phoenix was still kind of a frontliner to be still Batman.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of glad it was Christian Bale. It's because he has more of a face that I think works for what those movies were. Joaquin Phoenix has a face that's not, I don't know, it wouldn't have fit like the Nolan Batman, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't have fit in the one.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so let's talk. So let's switch gears to Marvel. So, I'm sure. I mean, if you're watching the show, you're either a nerd or one of our parents. So if you didn't already know, there was in the 1990s supposed to be a Spider-Man movie with Leonardo DiCaprio was James Cameron was writing it, and he wanted Leo DiCaprio to be in it, and he also wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger to be in it.
Who did you want Arnold to be?
I think Doc Ock.
Oh my.
No!
Hey, man.
Stop it.
I'm a smart man. Adrian, get my arms.
Arnold.
Oh,
Not Stallone.
no, Stallone. Oh, I'm completely.
My
upset.
arms.
I'm embarrassed now.
My arms.
Yeah. I went to the other side of the buff guys from the.
Peter,
The
how dare you
80s.
web up my
90s.
arms?
Yeah, I went to the other roid freak famous person.
Boy freak famous person. Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Rocky
saying.
Balboa?
I know his name. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, I went to the other
His
the other
brain
end.
switched.
Wow.
Just yeah.
Which
Whoops.
I've done that before.
Whoops. They're both action stars at the same time, and they were literally competing against each other for the majority of their careers. So
Like Vin
Whoopsie.
Diesel and Dwayne Johnson.
yeah, but they are actually they've been in movies together. Were they ever in movies together?
Which ones?
Arnold and Sylvester Stallone.
Expendables.
Yeah, I think that's all I can.
Is that the only one?
that I can think of off the top of my head, at least, because they were technically competitors.
I'm surprised.
And Arnold played a joke, so that way Stallone would take Demolition Man, so that way he didn't have to be in it.
Oh, and then like in the Last Action Hero, they played a joke where Stallone was the Terminator.
Did they?
Yeah.
See, they're confusing. They're confused. You could switch them in your brain. So I'm not the first one to do it. I'm just a little bit slow today. Okay.
It's one of those days.
Anyway,
God, imagine if
so
Schwarzenegger was Judge Dredd.
Ugh.
No. I had a bad thought.
So Arnold was gonna be Dr. Octopus.
Possibly. I don't.
Leo as Spider-Man.
That I can
That
see.
would have changed Leo's career, I think, for sure. Because Leo was like a
completely different
yeah.
direction.
Because like up to that point, he was a drama actor. Like he was in like heavy stuff, like
Right. And this movie sounds like it was supposed to be kind of
like heavy.
yeah, at least for a Spider-Man
Like,
movie.
James Cameron wanted to do something more akin to like Terminator in tone.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So now I'm kind of curious if he would have made up a character for Arnold to be.
Maybe.
What if he was like Craven? Because
That would have made sense.
That would have
Yeah,
made sense.
because
yeah.
I mean,
he's
like
big man.
big man. Well, and Craven came out since last podcast.
Oh yeah,
the trailer for-
podcast trailer.
The trailer since last podcast, I think
I
it
don't
came out.
Like how they kind of made it seem like he's going to be like
a superhero.
not even that, like an activist for animals. He works with animals because they help him hunt.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about anything.
No, he'll
except
gladly
his
throw them
wife.
to be fodder. Like he does not.
Right, like they're trying to like they don't know how to make someone a bad guy, a protagonist be a bad guy. They're like, oh, they have to be good. It's like, Venom, they've done this before because like in the comics, he's become
Lethal
a good
Protector,
guy.
Yeah. But
Even
Craven's
if he
a bad
does
guy.
questionable things.
Craven's
even
bad.
When, yeah,
Craven
even when
murders
Craven
people.
does good things, he's still Craven.
He's not anti-hero. He's a villain. He's
Venom still eats people.
yeah.
That's still a thing.
Honestly, the Punisher in the Punisher shows is more of a bad guy than most of these bad guy movies are.
We'll see, like Joker. Speaking of Walking Phoenix's Joker, that was a bad guy movie. Like he wasn't.
Right, he's not exactly a good guy.
No.
You feel bad for him.
Which is the goal. Like right.
That's what. Yeah, you're supposed to feel that way.
But Craven literally just shreks people.
Craven is supposed to be the kind of dude that walks up and he's like, "You're not even worth my time."
Yeah.
Oh my god. I
I
hate that he doesn't have a Russian accent. I watched that trailer. Everyone that you see in his family has an accent.
Except him.
It's the Black Widow situation all over again. Screw this. And people are, oh, you're nitpicking. No, bite me. Craven's thing that even makes him remotely funny sometimes is the accent. He looks like stupid. I'm sorry. I walk around in big lion jacket and I hunt a teenager in blue underwear. It's like, what is this? For his first, like, several years of existence, he had laser nipples.
Oh my god, he did. Yeah, the eyes of his thing.
They then made it
shot
so that way it
lasers.
shot poison, and then it's just a vest.
It's
It's
just
like,
a vest.
no. You started with laser nipples. I want laser nipples.
Well, I really liked Craven in the Ultimate Spider-Man show because I thought his weapons were really cool. They were like all like just handles, and they had just energy. Even the spear was cool looking.
They updated it.
They made him cool.
And Craven in the Spider-Man game that's coming out looks freaking cool.
Yeah.
Like he
He's got munchkins though, or minions.
Right.
Munchkins.
Which to me also kind of works because
But,
they
like,
use them as a tool.
Did I send you guys the
He
video?
hired a mercenary to hunt. He was hunting someone.
Yeah,
Like
he'll just hire mercenaries to try and kill him.
Did I send you guys the video of the like Yuri in the the voice actor Yuri who voices Spider-Man in the game yelling as the Venom when he's in the symbiote, and then the Matt Pat, it cuts to Matt Pat, and it sounds the exact same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my god, that's so crazy, dude. I think Matt Pat just came in to do that part.
Just for that.
Yeah. But it's just dude, that's hilarious. But yeah, Kraven, fuck you. But anyway. You should have been Quicksilver. I liked him as Quicksilver. Okay, I know what people think about that movie.
I like him as Quicksilver more than I do as Kraven. There's someone perfect for Kraven. He's just old.
Who is it?
Carl Urban.
Arnold.
The man looks like Kraven.
Arnold.
Carl Urban.
Look at him.
I know he does.
He's a perfect
What,
casting
can
for
we-
most
but-
comic book things.
But
is
if
the problem.
he can't, I don't want him to do a Russian accent. I just want him to be the
Australian.
I want him to be Billy Butcher, but just put some knives in his hand and put a lion.
Honestly,
on his
making
back.
Kraven Australian would make more sense because
Oh my
Australia's
God, it would
animals.
still make more sense than him just talking like he's an average dude from the middle of America.
I know. See, that guy's not
Any
even
accent.
American.
I'll take any accent.
That guy's not even American.
Then why does he sound American?
He's like, the actor is not like, he's like full scale not American. Like if you like watch Age of Ultron promos, he's like, "Oi mate, like it's coming over here, fucking filming in Atlanta or whatever the fuck." Like it was crazy. Like he's not.
I'm punching a Sony executive in the balls.
Like he's not even like because he.
Go
dude,
find
not even
Avi
American.
right now.
I will find Avi. I'm picking a fight with Avi.
I'll stand there and look menacing. What about the second Fantastic Four movie of the 2014? Wasn't that a thing? And then the
What
first
happened
one,
to that?
Then the first one bombed, and they were like, "Yeah, no."
So they like completely pulled out.
Michael B. Jordan's Fantastic Four. We'll dub it as
Fantastic Four movies have a tendency to just
Miles
fizzle.
Teller's. Dude, look at that cast. Besides, like, because like the girl who played Invisible Woman kind of was like, she's done other things,
Camera.
and then the guy who did Ben, like I've seen him and other stuff, but like Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan went on and had crazy careers, and like, they were just in that movie.
That's how it works.
That movie had good moments, and I mean like very small moments. Like I thought the thing
But
dropping out of the plane was really cool.
The problem was that
to
it
be
was,
like a secret agent.
it was
but,
all exposition
yeah.
and no
Well, so they
action.
took one of the least well-performing comic book lines, Fantastic Four, the Ultimate Fantastic Four. Fans hated that from the start. People did not like that line. Let's make a movie about it.
Pretty
People
much.
love it.
I mean, didn't Reed Richards from the Ultimate series turn evil?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like destroy that universe.
Yeah, he was part of the reason that Secret Wars event happened, and now he's back for some reason, and the Ultimate Universe
And
is
then
coming back.
and then Miles Morales is like, why are you here?
Pretty much. If I'm
No,
not mistaken, they
people
also
hated
unveiled
that Fantastic Four line.
Ultimate Peter Parker is alive again.
Oh yeah, at the end of that was weird.
And it's like, why? Marvel jumped the shark 20 years ago in our lifetime.
Yeah, they just
Well, I love the Ultimate X-Men stuff.
Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man.
And but that
For the most
Fantastic
part.
Four stuff, people just it's not good. Like people and the fans.
The
reacted accordingly.
Ultimates were okay.
Their saving graces was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I even think the X-Men had some questionable things here and there, but overall it was more okay than...
I just like how Beast evolved.
Right.
Like I thought that was a cool thing. Like he just kept getting more and more.
I want to know
Harry.
who thought it was okay to be like, oh yeah, you know Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver? How they're brother and sister?
Yeah.
Now Kith.
No kid.
And even Captain America, they like made fun of it in a book, and Captain America's just like, your siblings, right? And then they're like talking about it, and he's like, would you do this for your sister? And like Hawkeye's in the background, he'd do a lot more for his sister. And like him and Hawkeye walk off, and he's like, you know they're more than siblings, right? And Captain's like,
Huh?
what?
Huh?
Like in an actual comment.
Yes,
That's disgusting.
because it's weird. Who sat down and was like, I'm gonna put my wildest fantasies.
What writer was it
I don't know.
who made that joke?
But
I
you
wa-
can
I
look
wanna
up
go give
Scarlet
them a-
Witch,
I wanna go
Quicksilver,
Kiss.
just incest. Just look up Scarlet Witch incest, and you'll find it. You'll find more than that, but that's not the point. I want to know who sat down and initially wrote that. And they're like, yeah, that makes sense. Let's keep it in the comic.
I like to think that they brought in a writer, and they're like, hey, these characters seem like they have chemistry, not knowing that they're siblings.
They just hire random
They
people.
just hired like a person, like a writer that.
So kind
Off
of like
the
what
street.
Marvel Studios doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they've been doing that in the comics
Oh,
for the past
speaking of Marvel
40 years.
We should talk about Secret Words next episode.
Yeah?
I have some thoughts about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that going to be our next topic?
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
In the show.
Okay.
I've done that like 9 times in the last 3 podcasts. I don't know if you've noticed that. Secret Wars.
I was excited to talk about like Black Suit Spider-Man and all sorts
We
of
talk
stuff
about Secret
like
Wars.
that.
too.
I've watched.
We
the
can talk
first,
about the secrets.
Are there 3 episodes out now, or the
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3.
I've only watched the first 2.
Dude, the first episode, because my neighbor texted me today. He's like, have you watched Secret Invasion yet? I'm like, yeah. And it doesn't waste any time, so buckle up. And he was like, good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it wasting time or not.
The end of episode 1, you're like, I was at least. I was like, no way.
I was like, that was dumb.
I was like, no way they just did
It's
that.
like they just
And then they end up
did
episode
something
3.
stupid.
They end up episode 3 too. You're like, okay, I guess that happened.
Oh,
Yep.
Damn.
In episode 2, they just unveil a bunch of stuff, and it's like, when is anything actually happening? I'll be sitting here, it's like really boring, thing.
Yeah.
Really boring, thing. And it's like, what? What did I just...
There's 45 minutes of my life.
It's like, I watched it, and I didn't retain a single thing except for 2 story beats that aren't going to matter the next
That there's a
episode.
million scrolls on the earth was one.
That's
of them.
the only thing I've got.
Are you telling me that there's a million? Wait, he said something like green-headed squid people or something like that. Like it was like just dogged on Talos just right then and there. Bong, like what?
Man, this show.
Was this episode 3?
This is episode 2 that he talks
Okay.
about all the
Okay.
amount of scrolls that are on Earth
Okay,
because
I
they
must have
could
been
never
in the
find
bathroom for that.
another planet, and apparently
Yeah, for out of
Partially
all of the millions of planets that seem to exist that are not inhabited,
Earth.
Earth.
we want Earth.
We want Earth.
Have you thought about bite me?
Thought about Titan.
Build your own buildings. Suck a dick, dumb shit.
Hey, we have a bunch of deserts, and since you guys
The
can
planet
live
that
in any,
Thanos went to.
Titan. Right.
No, that's where he's from.
No,
that's where he
he's
was
from.
born.
The
The
farm,
one,
where
his
farm's
farm
at.
planet. That's perfectly capable of growth. You can build there. It has a nice atmosphere. It's completely habitable.
And we can
Nah.
even send them with stuff to make it like. I'm sure there's a thing in the universe where you could just press a button and building, or you could use PEM
Okay.
technology to shrink all the buildings down, and then there's our building.
Literally.
like
Figure it out.
bye.
Oh, you want your own planet? We got one
Well,
for
then
you.
the Super Scroll stuff. Okay, that's crazy.
This might be the next episode.
Is there one more project we want to talk about?
The Boba Fett movie.
Boba Fett movie. Didn't know that was the thing.
It's supposed to be directed by the guy who did Fantastic Four. Because
When
he's
was this supposed to come out?
years ago.
Like 90s?
No. Like not far
Like
from
in
Rogue
the 2000s?
One.
Oh, okay.
What year did Okay.
Fantastic Four 2005 2007.
No, Four Stick.
Force Dick.
Fan Four Stick. That's the one with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, the 2014.
2014. Okay. After that, because that was part of the deciding factor, it was like, okay, let's go with this guy. And then after time and people were like, wait, who do you want to direct this? No.
Who do they want to direct it?
The James Mangold.
Oh, okay.
Because he's now done Logan, which was great.
Yeah.
Fan Four Stick was weird. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, weird. And then you have the possibility of Swamp Thing might be great. I don't know. He's on a different level, but he was supposed to do Boba Fett.
Yep.
He was supposed to make a Boba Fett movie, and it was supposed to take place on one planet, spaghetti western style, and all these things. And it was supposed to come out years ago. And he only recently started talking about it because of Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I kind of wish I still got to make it, but it is what it is. I can't really do much about it now. They made their own show. And part of me is sitting here, it's like, could it have been worse?
Could it have been worse than the show?
Yeah.
Well, the show, to me,
Is boring.
it's looking back on it.
It's Mando season 2.
I think the best thing to come out of that show was the title song. honestly.
And the Tusken Raider stuff.
The
I
Tusken
like.
Raider stuff was cool.
This is fun. The title sequence is great. But all the stuff where he's like, I don't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. I want to be a crime lord.
Yeah. And see, and then the
And
whole,
then he doesn't do anything.
There's an the fact that there was a whole episode where Boba Fett wasn't in it made me upset. There was 2 episodes where
Essentially 2 whole episodes that
were
boil
just
down
Mando
to
stuff.
Yeah,
Why couldn't that have been in season
Mando
3?
getting a new ship and Grogu. This disrupts not the Boba Fett show itself as well, but the entire Mandalorian show.
Yeah.
You didn't have any time between season 2 and 3 where Grogu and Din Djarin were actually apart.
Mm-hmm.
You wasted it on episodes 4 and 5 of the Book of Boba Fett. Why? There is no reason. You wanted someone to watch your show. You could have had Din Djarin by himself.
Because it would have made sense for him to be there because he was like, hey,
Right.
call if you need.
For God's sake, the Naboo fighter that he was picking up was on Tatooine.
Right, exactly.
You could have said that Boba Fett financed it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you could have just done that.
But for Grogu to,
It was dumb. They didn't need to do the Luke Skywalker stuff. As much as I liked what they did with that
Yeah.
specifically, it shouldn't have happened in the Book of Boba Fett.
I think the worst thing Disney's ever done is mess up Luke. They, like, even in that show, like,
They once again were like, this is going great. I wonder what
You
they're
could-
going to do next.
you could
And then
choose
they
this.
screwed it up again.
you can choose this or that. Luke was not ever like that
They just need-
before
they just need
Disney
to-
got their hands on
They
it.
just need, like, honestly, they just need Dave to just take it over.
I think that was David did that.
That was Dave?
I'm pretty sure that was Dave. And it's
Dave,
just like,
I dare you.
so it's like, did you do this or did someone else do this? It's like, I know you know better. But I think he's wanting to enforce the idea of, like, the gray Jedi, which I kind of hate. I think the gray Jedi concept is really kind of annoying.
I think we all agree on this because we've talked about it on the podcast. I think they need to get away from this time period.
They need to do something new.
I honestly never want to hear the word Skywalker in Star Wars again, to be honest.
I'm not opposed to it if it's contextualized.
Unless
It's just like Luke Skywalker was a Jedi Master in this period.
Right.
Or Anakin Skywalker was a Jedi Master in this period. Okay.
Right.
You can be 100 years in the future still talking about it, dude.
Right. But like, or like when if they end up doing these more Rey movies, like that's even fine because that's building on to some time period we've never seen before.
Right. And I hope that they do the stuff that they did with Luke in Legends. I really do hope they extend to Rey. I hope that they finally go through with the whole idea of like the era of the Jedi way was allowing them or having them close off emotions because that's what led to Anakin spurging out and
Splooching.
murdering a bunch of children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what like literally like in
Luke
Luke's
in Legends learns that and he allows
Yes.
the Jedi to have families because then it would secure the Jedi to continue.
Yep. And then the thing is, and then like they did that in episode 8. They're like Luke's a dick.
Right.
And then they did it again in Boba. It's like you could either be with your dad or you could learn the ways of the Jedi.
And he even presents it nicely. And it's just like, no.
It's like, no, he can put him that armor on and give him that lightsaber right now, damn it, or I'm going to freak out.
It's like, just let it be.
Yeah.
And on that note, we're out of time
Yeah.
for this week's episode of the podcast. Long story short, Luke, we miss the old Luke. # make Luke great again. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the podcast. Please make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't unsubscribe. Anyway, Wyatt, what's the secret word?
Craven.
The secret word is Craven.
Craven
In the comments,
these
we'll
nuts.
heart your comment, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.